what exactly is citizenship? What is citizenship? What else? Identity है, relation है, और क्या है? Membership of a country. So basically citizenship, because it is used in a legal political sense, it is the membership of a specific socio-political entity. Here the socio-political entity is state. Okay, so membership of that particular state is called a citizenship. Now whenever you are a citizen of a particular entity like state, you have got a few rights and you have got a few duties. So rights and duties come with citizenship. Okay, so basically when you see this chapter, the constitutional provisions are very much limited because they'll be only talking about who all got the citizenship at the commencement of the constitution. Post that, who will get citizenship and who will not is being decided by the parliament, because the constitution itself empowers the parliament to formulate law in order to regulate the clauses of citizenship, that is acquisition of citizenship or losing of citizenship. So basically based on that, an act was enacted by the parliament by the name of Citizenship Act 1955, and whatever provisions that we read today vis-a-vis citizenship, whatever provisions we are reading are all related to that particular act. Okay, so basically there are four important definitions that you need to understand what they are. So one is citizenship, that is membership of a particular socio-political community or entity, that is the state. The second one is NRI, that is a non-resident Indian. So basically a non-resident Indian is an Indian citizen, but he is not normally or ordinarily residing in the country. So whatever rights a citizen has got, a NRI also gets it. Okay. Third is the person of Indian origin, PIO. Okay. See, basically PIO is more about cultural ties and using those cultural ties in having a connected global Indian diaspora relation. We'll read about OCI card and all. So it's all about cultural relationship. Okay. So within the political sense of citizenship comes in point of cultural association, which is being used by or instrumentalized by the provision of PIO. Now, who is a person of Indian origin? As the word suggests, it's a person who or whose any of the ancestor was an Indian or undivided India se wo related tha. That's what PIO is. But at the same time, a person of Indian origin is not a citizen of India, only related to India distantly. So that particular person must be the member of some other socio-political entity. It means that PIO must be the citizen of another country and not a citizen of India per se. Okay. Similarly, the another is overseas citizen of India card holder. That is because we'll talk about it in detail. It is generally a citizenship, not a citizenship, but a scheme, and they are registered. These people, PIOs, are registered under this particular scheme, that is the OCI card holder. Okay, and that is under Citizenship Act 1955. Okay. Okay. Illegal immigrant. It's another term introduced by the NDA government somewhere back in 2003. Okay. Illegal immigrant. As the name suggests, it has something to do with legality. So it's like a person who is not a citizen of India but has entered India without valid documents. What are valid documents? Like passport, or else has overstayed in this country. What was given in its travel document? Let's suppose the travel documents give him a permission of 5 years, but that particular person is living since 10 years. So illegal immigrants. Okay, so these are the four important terms related to citizenship clause. We'll be using all of these terms in the course of learning. Okay, so basically worldwide, when you see citizenship, that is membership, it is of two types. Okay, this is the basic of citizenship. One is called as jus soli, or which is born in soil. So on what land you were born will decide your citizenship. If you are born in X place and that X country gives citizenship based on your birth, then you will get the citizenship of that particular country. Okay. On the other hand is just sanguine. Sanguine means blood. So whom to born? Your parents' citizenship will decide your citizenship. Now these two clauses are politically very much important because many of the high offices or many of the public authority offices are to be filled by people, and one of the criteria is their belongingness to that particular country. For example, President of India, he has to be a citizen of India. Now whether he is just solai or just sanguine has to be provided. For example, American Constitution, American President, Barack Obama, the case. Okay, so you need to understand whether the Constitution talks about a person who is born on that particular land or the citizenship is being determined by whom to he is born. Okay, so these are the two basic different type of getting citizenship. Okay, so in any country, because there is geographical space inhabited by people, okay, so all the people who are living will either be citizens, that is member of that country, or aliens who are not member of that country but living in that country. Now who are citizen? Now citizens are full member of that particular socio-political entity called as state. They are full member. Because they are full member, so they enjoy all the civic as well as civil as well as political rights. All civil and political rights except anything which is being regulated by clauses of parliament depending on situations. But overall it is all encompassing civil and political rights. These are citizens because they are full member of that particular group. Now aliens are the citizen of some other country. Because they are citizen of some other country, it means some of their rights will be regulated. Fine. Some of right will be regulated. At the same time, the nature of those aliens who are in this country will be of two types. Either they can be friendly aliens or they can be enemy aliens. Now basically what is this enemy and friendly alien? It decides upon the macro level, like what is the relationship between our country and their country. And it is a provisional setting, not a permanent setting. When we are in war with a country, then the citizen of that particular country become our enemy aliens. Or when we find out that a particular alien is working with disloyalty to our constitutional provisions or working against our sovereignty and territorial integrity, then we call that particular person a enemy alien. It means someone who is working against the public interest of our country is enemy alien. Fine, these are basic things to understand. They have never asked you in UPSC like what is the difference between a citizen and a alien, or what is the difference between a friendly alien or a enemy alien. Okay, so rights and privileges on the citizen of India which are denied to aliens. Obviously, we discussed just now that will enjoy all the civil and political rights, whereas they will be restricted. So since they will be restricted, let's discuss what are the things in the Constitution of India which empowers more or which gives more civil and political rights to the citizen of India. For example, specifically a few provisions of the fundamental right are enjoyed by citizens alone and are not provided to aliens. What are those? 15, 16, 19, 29, 30. How do you remember it? No, you can remember it that way, or you can remember like, see, from 14 fundamental rights will start, practical fundamental rights. Okay, it started go till 32. Just leave the first and last. Leave 14 and leave 32. What you have? 15, 30. You have 15, 30, 16, 29 and 19 democratic right. You cannot allow a foreign citizen to come over here and then get all those democratic right and work against your country. Fine, you can remember like this. Okay. Then, apart from fundamental right, the right to contest for MP MLA seat and vote in election is also the prerogative of citizen of a country. It's a basic political right. We'll be deciding who will rule us. How can someone coming from outside would decide who will rule us or would rule us? Both the things are not possible. Fine. The third thing is the eligibility to hold a few of public offices. These are higher public offices which are reserved as a qualification for citizens of India. For example, President, President, Vice President, Governor, Judges of Supreme Court and High Court, Attorney General, Advocate General of States. See, they are actually working in the larger public interest of the country, and you cannot afford to have someone with doubtful integrity at these particular positions. Simply you need to understand that. So these are the specific provisions which are available to the citizens of India and not to aliens. Okay. And the natural rights will always be available to everyone. Right to education is available to everyone or what? So Article 5 to 11 under Part 2 talks about the various clauses of citizenship that were to be implied at the commencement of the constitution, as I said. Okay. So they neither contain any permanent nor any elaborate provision. Why not elaborate? Because it is talking about that specific instance of time. Okay. Now, basically when we talk about the commencement of constitution at that particular date, 26 January 1950, these provisions were talking about three basic things. Number one, the people who were domicile of India. Number two, the people who were either going from India to Pakistan or coming back from Pakistan to India. Leave apart the dates, not necessary at all. Okay. Or person of Indian origin who were residing outside of India. So these are the three type of people they were discussing about in the constitution. Okay. It does not deal with any provision of either acquisition or loss of citizenship. And as such, because they were talking about that particular instance, but then going ahead, we would also need a few provisions to regulate citizenship, membership of the country. Hence, they empowered the parliament to enact a law for matters relating to citizenship. Law are collective conscience of a society at a particular point of time. So that is why few of the provisions should always be floating. Floating because they will always represent the thinking, the conscience of that particular time. Membership is such a concept which has to be floating in nature. You cannot have provisions of 1950 applied to the socio-political scenario of 2020. So that's why it goes with the time. Okay.